Thank you, Jim, and thank you to the Miller Center at UVA for hosting this timely debate on one of our nation's most pressing issues. I think we all agree in order to have a strong nation, we need a strong economy, and that depends on having a strong energy foundation. The question before this group is that foundation with or without carbon-based fuels? It's a commendable ambition, but as with any complex issue, the devil's in the details, and the details on this are not inconsequential. In what time frame are we talking about? At what cost? And do we have the real options on the table that we need right now? I want to be clear, I am a staunch supporter of clean and renewable energy. But let's take solar and wind, for example. Currently, they comprise less than 2% of our nation's electricity supply. So even if we tripled them overnight, we still need to find sources for that other 95% of our electricity demand. And for our transportation needs, we are dependent on 96% dependent on oil to fuel our 200 million cars. So to make a dramatic change, it takes time, it takes money, and it takes technology. You know, us Americans, we're pretty practical people, so let's be realistic. The decisions we make on energy over the next few years will largely determine what our nation will look like for decades to come. So I think we need a very thoughtful approach. We need to be crystal clear about the costs and the time frame and what's going to happen to the American economy. After all, fossil fuels became central to our nation's economy for a very good reason. They were abundant, they were cheap, and they came packaged very small and very powerful. Do we have a substitute readily available today that is comparable? In these economic times, we need practical solutions, and we need more, not fewer options. And let me be specific. First, if we want to reduce our dependence on imported oil, then let's open up the 85% of America's oil and gas reserves that have been off limits for 30 years. That could power our homes, it could fuel our cars, and it could create American jobs here at home. Second, electricity is going to go up by 20% in this country. And if we want clean and reliable energy, we're going to have more nuclear energy. Why? It's safe, it's emissions-free, and it's cheap, and it creates high-paying jobs. Third, we have 250 years worth of coal in this country, and we need to be able to use it and use it wisely and create the technology to allow us to do so. Because if we don't, other countries will buy that coal from us and use it anyway. Lastly, we do need to use our energy more wisely. We need to be more efficient in the way we use energy and not waste energy. Do more with less, not less with less. I'll say I'm an energy optimist. I know we can reduce our dependence on imported oil and also reduce the emissions from carbon-based fuels. To solve our nation's serious energy challenges, we need a thoughtful and realistic transition to a low carbon-based future. But we need to do it in a way that doesn't impose unmanageable burdens on America's families and America's businesses, both large and small. We need to tap all of Americans' resources, and we need to harness our deep well of innovation that has helped our country through so many crises. That will provide America long-term energy security and an achievable, affordable path. And last, let me say, I hope that more dialogues like this happen. We need more people involved in this debate across this country to be informed and involved, not just let it be in the halls of Congress and White House, but to engage the whole country in our pressing issues. Thanks, Jim.